the productivity warrior. What's going on, Mr. Kitchen?
What's happening, man?
Man, it's going good. I was just thinking about before this. Almost every time you speak, I mean, it should be this way with everybody, but every time you speak, there's specific things that I'm able to pull out and implement right away that I'm still doing to this day. So
that's awesome, man.
I love every time you come to speak because it's just all about that productivity, right?
That's it, man. Actionable items, man. Getting, when you look at, what does productivity mean? It's getting the result we're after, right? Like we can still be doing the things that we know that should produce the result,
right?
But if it's not, we're not being productive. Yeah. So we've got to figure out, and I think that's even a key word, right? Being able to adapt to what is the landscape, the situation, the environment.
Yeah.
To adapt to get the result. So like you and I were chatting before we jumped on, and we were talking about, from a virtual aspect, you had asked me, is this kind of, normal, right? I'm like, yeah, it's been normal for almost 2 years.
Right.
But it's not normal for a lot of people. And so like, what are a couple of the things that you have to embrace? And we talked about, you've got to embrace this.
Yeah.
You've got to embrace the video aspect and the humanistic factor to be able to connect. Yeah. I know we have a strong audience and following that's a part of EXP.
Right.
So we have the world to be able to go into, and that's cool. That's fun. That it serves its purpose.
Right.
But you can not base that on all of your virtual meetings.
Yeah.
Because it's cartoon characters. Yeah. Right. We can still have our voice, but it's still comical. Right. Yeah. I mean, somebody's going to do a breakdown and doing a dance, and, Al's going to look like, he's from the mafia or something.
He's going to drive around in his boat. Yeah.
Hop on the boat and take off. So, I think it's really, really important that you have to have this humanistic factor,
right,
to be able to stay connected. And then, you've got to stick to your routine.
Yep.
Right. You got to nail your calendar. If you get up at 6, you got to keep getting up at 6, right? You get up, you do your morning rituals. If you follow the Savers program or whatever it is that you do, and then, you're exercising, you're doing the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
Maybe it's shifted a little bit. Maybe you can't get to the gym, but
right.
Lace it up. There ain't no reason you can't get out and run.
Right.
So get out. And two, the cool thing about, getting outside, especially if you're like in this situation and you're starting to work from home, you have to get outside.
Right.
And the big thing that most people don't realize, what running or walking or getting outside, what it does for us is it helps recharge our emotions. So especially during emotional times, like high stress, high emotional times, like what we're all going through,
right,
the recharge is cardio.
Right.
Now, your exercise program, you better get some burpees in, get some push-ups, right?
Right.
You got, if you've got some dumbbells, get after it, because we need that to recharge the physical and stay strong, especially in times like this, right? We need to stay hydrated. We need to stay strong. We need to renew our emotions.
Right.
And if you have not started some type of silence, meditation, prayer practice, I would look at that right now. Because one thing that I can say, I use the Headspace app.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous how many sessions. I can't even think how long. So like my stats.
It keeps track of stats for you?
Yeah, it keeps track of your stats. So I've meditated for 265 hours, over 1,000 sessions.
Wow.
Average of 10 minutes. Wow. And so I do it as kind of an active meditation. So like I'll start out my runs or my walks or on the bike, and I'll put the headphones on and go through the Headspace app.
Yeah.
And am I getting the full benefit? Probably not, but am I getting some benefit? Yes. And I can tell you what that part of the practice, right? It's part of the Savers, right? Yeah. In fact, it's the very first Saver. And if you guys aren't familiar with Savers, you got to check out Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning Morning for Real Estate. You've got the Savers program: silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. If you just do those things, your life will change. And so the silence piece is helps recharge, like we talked, the cardio recharges our emotions. The silence, the meditation, the prayer recharges our mental state. So like we're in high stress situations, we're mentally tapped.
Right.
Like go for a walk and just silence. Don't listen to no music. Just walk. Just focus on your breathing. You will get such a renewal in those areas. Like you'll come back and you'll be like, oh, man, I feel fresh. I feel great. Let's get after it. So those are just a couple things that I think, as we were talking before we went live with everybody, that, a lot of folks can be focusing on, times, right now, times of uncertainty.
Right. And I think, as you guys can see, it's going to be raining nuggets. I think Jake said for this event with all the speakers, he's like, it's going to be raining nuggets. But one of the biggest things, because I've been working from home for the past, about a year and a half now. So about the same amount of time period. The one, I guess you could say, myth that we broke was I thought everyone's like, yeah, if you go from home, you can wear your sweats, you can wear whatever you want when you're walking around. Don't do it. Don't do that. You have to wake up, like you said, do your routine. Wear what you would wear on a normal work day. You have to feel like you're at work. You can't lay in bed and work and think you're going to be as productive. You might be able to try and fool yourself, but it's just not the case. Get up, get your workspace, and dress like you're going to be at work. That's one of the biggest things where I thought at first, like I was wearing sweats, and I thought I was doing as much work, and then I checked myself, and it wasn't the right scenario for me.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, 100%. And there's it was broken down. I forget where I was listening into it. I think Joe Paula shared it a little bit. It might have been on the Jay Abraham podcast that he had him on a while ago, about this time last week. Right. And they were talking about, from a habit forming, and James Clear, Atomic Habits. If you guys haven't gone through that book, it's a must. But the professor that impacted a lot of the people that focus and talk about habits and talk about rituals. Right. The professor, he has a little thing that he calls MAP, and you've got to have the three things, and one is motivation. Right. Yeah. And we hear a lot of this stuff. You just got to be motivated. You just got to get your ass up and go. You just got to be motivated. You got to be motivated. Yeah. Well, that's not it. There's more to it than just motivation. And the thing with motivation's internal. I can't motivate Nick Krim to get up and get after it. I can't motivate Nick to do this and in the Live with Leaders and doing this whole program for all of us and all of you guys listening in. I can inspire Nick to do something. Nick can inspire us, but the motivation is internal. The second is the ability, right? Do we have the ability to do that? I may be motivated to mix it up with LeBron right there behind you, but I ain't got the ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we have to have a prompt. We have to be prompted. So to your point of getting engaged and getting into, putting in the work and doing the things we need to do, we can have that motivation, that deep desire, why we're wanting to do what we need to do. Then we've got to have that ability. Yeah. And then we've got to have a prompt. So like the prompt for you could be is go through your routine, right? Get dressed, put on your clothes when you go to work, and then get out of your bed and get into like, even if it's just, we have an office here in our house, but Holly will, she gets into her mode. She has like two spots, either on the couch, right? She has this little spot on the couch where she just gets into mode. Yeah. Or she'll sit there at the table to where it's kind of her office at the table. Right. Just find a spot out of your bedroom that you can be prompted into motion. Yep. Right. And that's kind of a secret little sauce. If you put all three of those together, that allow you to accomplish and take action at a high level.
And the great thing about this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you guys are going to be getting when you go to this Live with Leaders event. And to sign up for, go to kitchens.livewithleaders.com. What we're doing is we're bringing on 16 just powerful speakers, right? People who speak all across the nation and in different countries about what, like, real estate, building your business, and even more so just building yourself up. And it's 16 great speakers, absolutely free. You really can't beat this. And this is a time, like John said, go to your spot on the table, go to your favorite spot on the couch, sit down. It's a virtual mastermind and you get all the benefits from it.
Yeah, we had a great session here. We did something at the house a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we've got a flat screen here in the office that's on wheels, right? We rolled it out to the dining room table, kind of set. We had our own little like private conference room screen monitor. Like, just figure it out. Just figure it out. Adapt to your situation. And those that are operationally able to adapt and leverage technology and focus your energy and effort and your time on the activities are going to be the ones that thrive through any situation. Just, I mean, you know, who knows what's going to happen.
Nobody knows.
Nick Nanton shared a great article from Dan Sullivan at Strategic Coach earlier today. I just reshared it.
Right.
The 10 mindsets to think about. And it's fantastic. You guys, if you guys know Nick, or you go to my, just on my regular Facebook page, there's the article there. Open it up, read it, share it with your team. But the 10 mindsets, and, you know, like one of them, you know, focus on the next 24 hours, focus on what's in your control, live it, and be present, right? Live in the moment. Yep. And I think there's some other really good nuggets in there, but definitely check it out, man. And make sure you guys are protecting your mind. I mean, there's so much negativity that can creep in.
Yep.
And really make sure you're nurturing and you're nourishing, just like you're feeding your body. That's the other thing too, man. When you're at home, you got to be careful, man. You can you can get
coming out with a couple extra pounds on yourself
in a hurry.
Yeah.
I saw it's not funny, but somebody had made a post about you know, I'm going to take the social distancing and working from home. It's like traveling at the airport. You know, the bar is open at 9. The bar ain't open at 9, guys. Right. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. The bar's not open. You know, stick to your normal routine as much as you can. You know, adapt to the situation, and you guys will be fine.
So you had kind of like a unique experience with a lot of these speakers you've worked with, right? So like you've either coached with them or they've been speaking at some of the events that you guys have put on. So what can you tell us that's kind of special about this group of speakers that we put together?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just a unique perspective that I think able to add some insight and some perspective versus all of the other leaders that are going to be just adding massive value on April the 8th. Is that, you know, I've been a part of multiple 7-figure real estate businesses over the, you know, the last, 15-year run. But I've also had the opportunity to look under the hood of over 500 high caliber producing agents.
Yeah.
I think the number's like, it's almost 11,000 one-on-one coaching calls at this session.
That's insane. 11,000 one-on-one calls.
It is insane. And
really quick, that's what comes with being a productivity warrior, is knowing your numbers, knowing your stats. If you didn't have these systems in place, there's absolutely no way you'd be able to figure out how many coaching calls you've been on. Yeah.
And it's, you know, I think more so it's just having the things, right? What you measure, you can improve. And so that's really a key nugget for all of you, you know, making sure that you know your numbers, right? Make sure you know your cash flow situation. I mean, that's a key fundamental, that if you've ever been running your business on fumes, you get really good at paying attention to cash flow. Yeah. You guys need to get really good at paying attention to cash flow. But back to your question on, you know, what this dynamic group is going to be able to bring. And, you know, they each have their own, you know, unique gift. And, you know, there will probably be a theme. So, you know, we've ran our high level mastermind. This is in its like 9th year. I think looks like we're only going to do one event this year. We've done 23 or 24 of these high level masterminds over the years. And the one thing when we would set up these events is that we would just let it manifest. We would just let it organically happen. We would put the speakers in place. Yeah. We knew that they would bring tremendous value. They're coming from a place of contribution. They're coming from a place of love. They're coming from a place of adding value. And what always happens is that there's a theme that flows out of this.
Right.
You've got a tremendous amount of leaders. I'm sure all of you guys tuning in will have a notebook full of real actionable takeaways.
Right.
And so we never want to like put a label on what the theme is going to be. We just let it happen. And then after we kind of decompress after the event and kind of talk about what went right, what can we do better next time? We always say, well, what was the theme? And we usually, you know, we can all put our finger on it, be it around from, you know, attraction to retention to lead strategies to operations to cash to whatever the case may be, business model to leadership.
Right.
But there will be a theme that comes from this. And, you know, I think what's going to serve everybody listening in before you tune in to April the 8th is like, what am I jumping into this day with this lineup, with these amazing leaders? If I could get this one problem solved in my business or in my thinking, that it will exponentially change my life and my business. Like, what's the one thing that this group can solve for me?
Right.
And so if you really think about that, you take the time to get clear and like, you know, what is the one problem that I'm looking to solve by investing my day with these amazing individuals, right? Not only, you know, thought leaders and, you know, practitioners in the real estate space, but just amazing human beings.
Right.
Like, but what is the one problem that I'm looking to solve as I head into this entire day? And if you come in intentionally, you're going to not only solve the problem that you're looking to solve, but you're also going to get other strategic ideas that you can just then become a tactician into your business. So you've got to come in very, very strategic, very looking, you know, for the problem. What am I trying to solve?
Yeah.
And then, you know, clear actionable items, so there's a difference too, Nick. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
You know, when you're coming into any type of event, there's two things, right? We take notes and we make notes. And there's a difference. Yeah. And the most powerful one of the two is not just taking notes, but the most powerful is making notes, meaning you're going to hear something that you're going to say.
Yeah.
They're going to hear something that, you know, Tina is going to say. They're going to hear something Holly has to say. They're going to hear something Veronica has to say.
Right.
And that should trigger a thought or an idea for you. And so making notes is something about how you're going to apply that to your situation, that it applies to you. And that's the most powerful, looking to make notes instead of just taking them.
Yeah. And I think the biggest word I got out of all of that, because I can relate directly to my experience when I came to my first mastermind in Key West, was intention. Coming in intentionally trying to figure out what you're trying to solve. And you will find it, especially with this list of speakers. We're going to be covering a wide range of topics, and we're going to be releasing the topics for each speaker here very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, very soon. But with that being said, coming in intentionally trying to figure something out. If you come in just say like, yeah, I'll just come in and try and learn a couple of things, chances are you're going to take notes, right? You're not going to know what that means for your business and what you need to do, your next action step. It's funny when you say that. I can remember exact times when I'm reading notes and I'm like, what does this even mean? Because I was taking notes. I wasn't writing down what my next step is and what I need to apply with it. Yeah. That was a very, very, see right there. That's my big takeaway from this. Taking notes and making notes. That's a great reminder.
It is. And I love that, you know, and be intentional. Don't just come in, you know, I love how Jay Abraham puts it is, we don't want to be here for your intellectual entertainment.
Yeah.
We want to be here to help you.
Like, man, you're so smart. Like, that's great. What'd you get?
Yeah. I want you to be able to. We really, really want you guys to be able to, have a tremendous impact on what's going on in your business. And I think, Nick, this is really timely because there's a lot of uncertainty in our profession right now. And the reason I believe that there is a lot of uncertainty and a lot of what do I do and what direction do I go, is that they don't have the leadership that they need to help guide them through times of uncertainty. And so, I can promise you guys, if you're going to ride this game, if you're going to play this game, for the next 10, 15, 20 years, this ain't the only little course you get to navigate. You're going to get to do it again and again and again. And so you really need to be intentional. I shared with the team the other day is that you need to document every decision you make every day. So so they started a Google Doc form, and at the end of the day, their key leaders go in and they just brain dump the decisions they made for the day. Now I said, it may not matter, right? This may be just whatever document.
It's an exercise.
It could just be an exercise for nothing. I said, or it could be a playbook that we use in future situations. And see, what we're trying to do is trying to not ride the wave of what the market does. And we want to make sure that we are being very, very strategic, strategic. And there's a difference in being strategic and being tactical. So being very strategic and really good strategy, bad strategy. Good strategy is just solving the right problem. What problem are we trying to solve? Right. And you have to look at it once you know your cash situation and you're managing your cash flow, you have to focus on operations and marketing. And so what we want to really, pay attention to is that, do we ride the wave of the market? Say the market drops 25, 30%. Does our business drop 25 or 30%? Or does our business drop 5 or 10%? Right. Let's take a look at it. What did we do? Yeah. What did we do to buck the market by 20, 25%? Yeah. Now you have an actionable playbook that you're able to leverage in convey to, your team. You're building the handbook when it's just a matter of when, something not hopefully like this, but a market correction happens, that you're able to navigate those waters and not ride the market. So just pay attention to what you're doing. It goes back to your word being intentional, but document it. Take the time at the end of the day, voice it. Just open up your Google sheet, turn on your mic, and just voice everything you did for the day, and timestamp it and close it and move on.
Yeah. And here's what I'll say too, that, like, with every speaker that's coming on board, everybody kind of has their own unique, I guess you could say, like, superpower that got them to that step. And the great part is we're all an open playbook, right? We're all willing to share, and that's what's going to make this so powerful. And here's something I got from you. And it was funny because I like to pride myself on shooting a lot of video, right? Video text and doing all this. I like doing video. But on my birthday this last year, on Facebook, you get all those happy birthdays on the wall, get a bunch of texts and all of this. John Kitchens is the only person who sent me a video message saying happy birthday. And he said like a little extra something with it. And I'll tell you what, I don't remember anybody else's happy birthday but yours, because it was different. And that was just really cool. So I've been doing that pretty much ever since. And that was just one of the things I picked it up. I'm like, that's really cool. I'm going to start doing that.
It's powerful. It's powerful. And, it's one of those, it's a Joe Polish thing. So Joe, has Genius Network, and what Joe would do at Genius Network. And I haven't got to this level. This is like there's a whole nother level to this. And so what Joe does is that he'll pre-record a happy birthday message from whoever celebrity influencer that he's with. Yeah. So the example that he gave you was Sir Richard Branson.
Yeah.
And so he went through his whole top 100, his top 150, his top clients.
Yeah.
And they just reeled off. Hey, here with Sir Richard Branson. We just want to say happy birthday. Hopefully you're having a great day. We wish you nothing but the best. And Sir Richard Branson would go, happy birthday. And they would say their name. Then they would go to the next one. And I was like, that's gangster.
That's another level. Yeah.
That's another level. That's gangster right there.
I just did 100 videos like that.
Oh gosh. I was like, that dude's, that's a whole nother level right there. Like, things to aspire to, right? We gotta start. We gotta work our way up.
Yeah. So John, next time I see you, I'm gonna rattle off a bunch of birthdays. I'm here with my man John Kitchens.
Happy birthday! What's up?
I love it. But yeah, like you said, April 8th. That's when it's gonna be. It's gonna be an 8-hour virtual real estate conference. You can come in and out as you please. You know, I know we have a lot of stuff going on, but it's gonna be 8 hours, jam packed with nothing but value. No pitching. I want to say this again. Nobody's pitching on here. It's going to be straight value because that's how we like to operate, right? So you can get your tickets at kitchens.livewithleaders.com. We got the link in the comments. John, do you have any closing remarks for everybody?
That's it, man. You know, I think, you know, really be intentional. Spend a little time before the event, getting clear on, you know, the top, 1, 2, maybe 3 problems you're really looking to solve in your business, and go in intentional and really looking to solve those things. You're going to pick up other nuggets as you always do when you're listening attentively and you're listening to for what you need to hear to help you through. And you know, the other thing, just given, you know, the time and date of, you know, sharing this video, you know, things are changing by the minute, by the hour, by the day. And, you know, I cannot stress enough, you know, this is Live with Leaders. I cannot stress enough for you to really focus on how you're showing up for your family, how you're showing up, more importantly, how you're showing up for yourself, right? You've got to lead yourself before you can lead others. And how are you showing up each and every day? You know, how are you showing up for your family? How are you showing up for your team? How are you showing up in your community? Yeah. And, you know, there are a lot of folks out there right now that are seeking and looking for that leadership and that guidance. And, you know, I don't want to say opportunity. It is an opportunity, but I think you owe it to yourself and to your team and to your community to step up and be that leader.
Yep. Beautifully said, John. Like we said, kitchens.livewithleaders.com. John, as always, it's a pleasure, and I can't wait to load off the value with you.
You got it, bro. Appreciate you.